I'm Ginger Leigh with On the Rogue, brought to you by songwriters across Texas. I'm in Dallas at the Guitar Sanctuary. It's actually McKinney, Texas, and I am with Patrice Pike, the amazing Miss Patrice Pike. How you doing, girl?
Good.
Yeah? You been on the road?
Yeah.
Are you been rogue or road?
Road. I've been rogue on the road.
Oh, good. Good. Sounds about right. I do know you quite well. So full transparency for our viewers, we're old friends. We go back a long way. We've toured together a lot. We've jumped out of a plane in New Zealand.
We did.
Zigzagged across Italy to get you to see an opera on your 40th birthday.
We've been pulled over by the Italian police.
We have. Got through that one.
Good times.
And we've made great music together. But let's talk about you, okay? So you're touring right now, it's summertime, and tell me about that. How's it going?
Great. It's great to be back out on the road after all the craziness with the pandemic and stuff. See what's still open, what is new.
Yeah.
Figuring out different ways to do it that feel good, and getting out of Texas while it's really, really hot.
I don't know what you're talking about. So you've been doing that, and are you recording anything new? Do you have anything coming up, music-wise, like that?
So right now is writing time. I'm doing some writing with John Bush, that you know well, and Hunter Hendrickson, and other bandmates too. But the three of us have been really talking a lot about making the new songs, and I have tunes that I've been working on for a while, and it's fun to kind of sieve through all that stuff, you know, how it is, and figure out what you really like, what's lighting you up, and then life is just rolling, and so there's a lot of stuff to think about, feel about, and write about.
There is, and you know, one of the things I've always respected about you is that you are so consistent about writing. You're so consistent about working with your bandmates, and I think that shows when you perform them live as well. And so you're writing, first of all, I'm constantly, you know, complimenting how you structure a song. Like, do you sit down and go, okay, this is what I want to write a pop song or a happy song or a sad ballad, or do you sit down with your lyrics and sometimes, how does it work? You tell me.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, I was working with some of our colleagues and friends with some kids yesterday, and they were asking the same question, and you know, each one of us had a different answer, and the answer I feel, and also that one of my best friends in that group feels, is that it comes from feeling. So one of the gals said it's from ideas, that's what comes first for her, and for me and for Carrie it's from feeling. So at the risk of being too personal, often a lot of it comes from feeling for me, and I know it does for you too.
Yeah. And
I know you're an idea gal too. So I really want to actually delve more into some of my ideas and move away. It's going to create feelings. It's going to be connected to feelings. But I think I have a lot of interesting ideas that I haven't really delved into. And then, of course, experiential life things that are going to lead me to some ideas that I really am passionate about.
Right. I remember you talking about how your mom once asked you, how do you come up with these words? And you were like, you have to pay attention to all the little things that are going on around you. And when you pick up on those, it becomes something.
She was, you know, really curious about songwriting. And so I did direct her to, like, look at that flower over there, Mom. It's violet. And I say that in the song. And my skin is burned and I'm talking about it. And I could see her face light up and got excited because she realized she could do that too.
Yeah. But then you, beyond that, I mean, I do too, we're both songwriters, but you know, beyond that, you get this idea, you get these lyrical patterns going, and then you have to put it to the music. And so when you're going there and you've got your guitar, I know that I've written something I thought was going to be a ballad and ended up being an upbeat song with horn tracks.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you?
Absolutely. There's a tune that was on the Pike and Sutton record, Hard as a Compass, that started off more as a ballad, and it was actually more in like a 3/4 time. And then I decided, it was right about the time that Tom Petty passed away. And I realized that this song could be more in that approach, and I was really listening to his music and missing in my heart, thinking about all the songs we would miss that wouldn't come from him anymore. And not that this song turned out to be like Tom Petty at all, but it just made me want to do something in 4/4, it made me want to pick it up, maybe want to bring it in this way that it wouldn't have come across if I hadn't just been in that mood and
Right.
in that idea.
Yeah.
And you know, for me, and what a lot of people won't know if they don't know me, is when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a drummer. I wanted to get a drum kit. My mom couldn't do that at the time. And, you know, I just always had it in me. And I became a drummer later, you know, when around 19, just hand percussion, because I met John Bush and was hanging out with him. And I found a way to do that with my hands instead of having to sit behind a drum kit, because I was already singing and then I was learning to play guitar. But I write a lot from a percussive place. And so now I'll often get on the drum kit and sing.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes from first. Or, you know, we get emotional and we write really, you know, songs that can be kind of ballady and kind of emo or whatever, you know, full of all that. And then it's like, oh, but this could be this way instead. And it's
Right.
more like, cats,
Yeah.
and just sing.
Yeah.
Sing some drums.
Well, you're a great drummer. I love watching you play drums.
I'm a hack, Ginger, but I love.
Well, I know you're not a drummer like
love playing 'em.
you know, but you're great on the drum kit. I mean, it shows, and you look really happy when you're on the drum kit.
It's just so primal. I
Yeah.
love the primalness of it. I've always written in terms of guitar or other instruments by ear, and then when I have to get wrapped up in which chord should I go to, what makes sense in a transition, then the primalness goes away for me. And so it can zap that vibe out of me. And with the drums, I can sing and play drums at the same time.
So that becomes more mechanical, and yeah, I can see that.
Theoretical, like I get lost in the theoretical stuff. I don't want to get lost.
Does this work? Is this well, yeah. I mean, I've been on drum kit many times.
I've seen you.
Well, I don't.
Especially at parties.
I don't know if we need to talk about that. Let's talk about your foundation.
Okay.
All right. So the Step Onward Foundation. Tell our audience more about it. Just tell them what it is.
So Step Onward is really it's partly from my own lived experience with housing insecurity when I was a kid. It's from knowing what it felt like to not know where you're going to live next month. It's from, you know, the reality of our world that a lot of people that are working class people don't know all the time where they're going to be, how long they're going to get to stay there, when their rents are going to go up, when the next bill is going to take them out, you know. And so I felt that as a kid, and I could feel my mom and her stress. And so I always knew doing music that I wanted to figure out how to do something about that, how to help
parlay that into
how to help people that were experiencing that. And of course, in our city, in Austin, the houselessness is out of control, like it is in many urban areas and even rural places. So 19 years ago, we started just by doing a concert for one person. We didn't mean to make a nonprofit. It
was the concert for one person?
One person.
Really?
We were just trying to raise $10,000, and we raised $40,000.
Wow.
At One World Theater, and we started with 30 days lead time. So the intention was never to start a nonprofit business.
But you mean you were doing the concert on behalf of one person?
Yes.
But the audience was there. It sounded like you meant there was one person in the audience.
One person gets $40,000.
I was like, I didn't know this person.
No, we actually filled 300 seats at One World Theater, and we're excited to do that, and just thought we were going to be able to help one person, and it's turned into 19 years and a whole lot of families and individuals.
That's so awesome. I so love that about you and love that foundation, and hope it keeps going, you know?
Well, and the cool thing about Step Onward Foundation is that it's not only targeting the issue of houselessness and housing insecurity and poverty. It's specifically working with other nonprofits in Austin and in other parts of Texas and the United States, targeting helping young adult survivors of homelessness who are aging out to be able to go to college, to make sure that their funding for safe and affordable housing gaps are filled, for counseling, and also for families with children with a lot of health problems.
Congrats on all of that. That's really cool.
Thanks for your help.
You're giving back to the world, and I mean, you already give a lot with your music. You know, people love you all over the world, and you bring a lot to them. I can see it when I'm in your audience, you know, or when I'm on stage with you. So I have to ask you, how do you feel about stage creepers.
What does that mean?
That means like someone in the audience creeping up to your stage and getting on there and singing harmony on a microphone that no one's singing on.
You don't know anything about that.
I've never done that before. How do you feel about that?
You know, I don't like it when it's someone I do not know, and I don't know if they're safe, and I have no idea like what's gonna happen. They're gonna fall down and hurt themselves. With you, I know that that's not gonna happen. So
I could fall down and hurt myself.
I love it when you do it, G.
Oh, well, I love singing with you. I mean, I love it so much. And when I'm in your audience, I'm like this the whole time. I'm like, I want to sing. I know that song so well because we've toured it so long, whatever. But anyway, well, I hope you have a really great show tonight. I'm sure you will. And I can't wait to hear you. And it's always, it never gets boring seeing you. Like, it's always a joy. First of all, I would consider you one of the most consistent artists, right? So the way you write is very consistent, and I'm not saying it's repetitive, just consistent. And your shows are consistent. You know, you go to a Patrice Pike show and you know what you're gonna get.
We'll see.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see tonight. There's a bottle of tequila over there.
9 months, we'll see, is what I'm telling you.
Oh, really? Oh.
We'll see what will happen.
So you're giving us a little hint about something?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always fun to innovate. I think I've done a few things like, when The Calling came out, it was pretty different from the records before. And I like the idea of getting weird. So, I mean, I can't help but write songs that I want people to feel them and not kind of feel upside down and have a hard time relating. But I think you get to a point where sometimes it's time to just freak out.
Yeah. I like it. I want to see you freak out.
Kind of like, the movie, did you see the Beatles movie and then they do their freakouts?
Yeah.
And Yoko's screaming?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
I don't think you should.
My own version of freaking out. Yeah.
Just imagining you.
Well, we freak out on stage.
Yeah.
But we often don't freak out in the studio and get
Yes, it's more controlled.
I would like to liberate myself and my bandmates more in that way.
Okay. I like that idea.
Live in the moment.
Yeah, definitely living in the moment. Okay, well, I look forward to what you have coming next. You're freaking out.
Yeah.
Your new songs. All of your great things you're doing with your foundation and all the rest of it. Of course, our friendship.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love you, girl, so much. All right, everybody, I'm Ginger Leigh with On the Road. Patrice Pike here in McKinney, Texas at the Guitar Sanctuary.